Hello.
Hello, hello.
We're out back at on the Leon Creek, or well, the trail that leads up to Leon Creek, just checking things out the day before Easter, evidently. So we found out our normal parking spot has been barricaded off because they don't want people hanging out there, because there's like grills and a playground, and they think that it would probably violate the social distancing policies in place. So we're gonna have a little walk around today and check out some of our normal old areas, and then also maybe explore a little bit farther down the Greenway and some of the little trails that shoot off of it a little bit later.
You were saying today is a good day because...
Oh yeah, today's a good day. It's nice and overcast, but it's still warm. It's humid. So you should have a good opportunity to spot some interesting critters. We'll see. Got our first little snake today, a little colubrid. I think it's a little Coachwhip. It's kind of down there in the grass. We try to get him out, and they're pretty quick though, and kind of a pain in the ass on the hook, so we'll see what happens.
I can see his tongue. There he goes. So fast.
Well, the little it was a little Coachwhip, and it got away. It's slithered off into the forest over here. Its head was just barely like sticking out of a hole, and as soon as I started to pull it out with the hook, it backed back up and then shot off in a different direction. And unfortunately, there is a downed tree here, which made it difficult to pursue. All right, now we're gonna swing down to this. Unfortunately, what we found was a dead little, what I think is a slider, juvenile, in the middle of the trail. And I have no idea where it's coming from or where it's going. And I've not seen any other evidence of turtles in this area.
Not really close to water.
Yeah, we're not super close to water. It's interesting. So we've seen the Coachwhip, and I almost got it, but unfortunately it got away. It's one of the interesting things I think I was just thinking about as we were walking is just how common Coachwhips are. That's the third or fourth different one that we've seen in a pretty small area, I think. I was kind of expecting, especially today and where we were looking, where we found the Coachwhip, I was expecting to see garter snake maybe, but came across the Coachwhip, and I hate that it got away. It was smaller than the other two that we've seen. The other two we've seen were quite long.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll include an old video of the Coachwhip, the first Coachwhip, or second Coachwhip in here, just a flashback as a comparison. So we're just down off the trail, checking stuff out. Now we're gonna head a little bit farther down to some areas we've never really actively looked too much, apart from the limbo trail that has a couple of boards on it, which are always nice to check. I think I found a rough earth snake there one time.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what we've got over there and then move on further down the trail. Now we're further out on Deception Trail. All the names out here have creepy names like Limbo and Deception and Carnage, Treachery Trail. So we're just now surveying this area. There's some, looks like deer bone right there. Keep walking and see what we find. It seems to be a good area for actually quite a few species. One of the weird moments out here, and I noticed this last time I was walking a couple months ago, but there is about 25 meters off the trail or whatever, there's just a random boat in the woods. No idea why, but it's interesting and kind of cool. I've seen it, but Sarah hasn't seen it yet, other than the picture I took of it. What do you think?
That's random. Very interesting. There's a tire in it too.
There's a tire in it. Got a little toad down here in the hollow of the log. Can't really tell what it is. Maybe it's a Gulf Coast toad. I'm not entirely sure. But it's tucked down there. Alright, now we're going to swing down to this area where we first saw our first Coachwhip here, and I ended up in a tree trying to get it. Unsuccessfully, I might add. Seems to be the story of my life here. As I've gotten older, I've gotten less brazen, and I'm not so willing to dive on snakes. Just flipping some logs. Just trying to see what we can see here. And these areas with bark, there's a lot of like flat bark here. Unfortunately, yeah, spider with an egg case there. Unfortunately, I almost got stung by a bark scorpion yesterday because, or a few days, when was it, yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yesterday, because I just grabbed up a bit of this old bark and decided I was going to look under it without using my hook. And my hand was right up against a bark scorpion, and then about a foot away from that, or not even a foot away, 5 inches or so, there's another bark scorpion. And this is a really nice area for Coachwhips. It's really open. The one we saw here was really quite big. It was cool. So hopefully we'll find something out here. If I do, you will be the first to know. So now we're just moving down this dirt road. It's, I don't know, 100 feet off the paved path. So I guess people ride their bikes and stuff down here, and it's probably used to service some of the creek area if there needs to be any creek maintenance, which makes me think that the poor little turtle that was dead got hit by a bike, or I doubt a truck or anything, because it wasn't smashed. It was so little. Don't think I've seen anything like on any of the trails, unpaved trails here yet. See what we turn up. This goes a fairly good ways out. It's starting to sprinkle a little bit, so we'll see if there's any activity at all. Maybe some frogs, or figure out where these turtles are coming from. Alright, so we're like right below this overlook on the paved trail. And people keep tearing the signs off, like little informative signs, and so they're just interesting to check out and check underneath. So there might be something. There's also just a ton of debris over here on the other side that we can go check out also after we check this out. And as we get farther down, there's an old like mill site or something called Devil's Den, where there's a couple of murders there back in the 90s, I believe. And I don't know if there's like space for anything interesting to find apart from like the little minor urban exploration, but we'll see, I guess. It's not really decomposed underneath quite enough yet, although there's a cricket. So even if there are little fossorial snakes under here, you're probably not going to see any, just too much debris. Check out all the debris here. There's like license plates. Actually, I think this is the license plate that I threw last time. we were here. Cushions, and there's a whole section of shopping cart. Just a cornucopia of anthropogenic disturbance. And I have no idea why there's so much trash and debris in this area. It's not super close to any houses. Like somebody has like actively brought this stuff here to this one location and thrown it here. So if we find anything, we will let you know. Used to be right there.
Yeah.
So you can see, like, there's just so much trash and debris here. In a sense, I mean, this is like terrible pollution, but like human disturbance and human refuse oftentimes brings in all kinds of animals. It's unfortunate that this is this way. It would be nice if there was some sort of community cleanup that just came through here and picked up, you know, hundreds of bottles and cans. There's just like a collection of shopping carts over here to my right. And it's like a really interesting area with lots of rocks, and there's a rock face and stuff. It would be interesting exploring. There's just so much debris. It makes it a little bit hard to navigate. Everything's a little bit slick from raining. I'm not sure if I want to tackle going through all of this. So maybe we'll move on to another area. So we're got a bug in my hand. So we're coming out on the Limbo Trail here along the Greenway up to Devil's Den, which is pretty interesting. There's nothing, probably not a whole lot of animals here, but plenty of cool stuff. I'm climbing up the hill now on the backside. What? What'd you say?
Oh, I said I can't believe you guys rolled the concrete.
Oh, all the way up here.
Way, yeah.
Oh yeah, at one point me and one of my friends and his wife and daughter and Sarah came up here, and I climbed this wall because I wanted to see what was inside by stacking a bunch of stuff right here.
It's no longer stacked there.
Which is no longer stacked there. To see what was inside, and there wasn't a whole lot. A little bit of video of just the kind of area. There's lots of graffiti, some of it's quite cool. I guess we can check out this area a little bit. There's plenty of debris and stuff to look under. See what we can find. We were walking down the trail, and after a very uneventful day, we saw the Coachwhip, but I couldn't get my hands on it. And I was talking to my wonderful daughter Amelie on the phone, and right in the middle of the trail was a rough green snake. It's very cool. These are one of my favorite snakes for being such a small little snake. They are quite powerful. You can feel how muscular their bodies are when they're moving through your hands. And they're really pretty too, because they're that really stark green color with really bright red tongue.
Just wants to crawl right up your arm.
I got a little bramble right there.
Now.
We're gonna let go. Let our little rough green snake go. You see how the scales are keeled?
What does that mean?